Hello everyone! So I have the second installment of gender tests. I have found this test on YouTube and I'm going to be doing it for the first time. I have not done it with anybody, or I've not done it before. So this will be the first time that I've taken this gender test. Now this test is from, oh, let me see, let me bring it back up. Yeah, let me keep my face in shot. It's called funtest, so that kind of shows you what this is going to be. But we'll see. Let's give him a fair chance. Alright, so I'm going to swing the camera to face the screen. Okay, I thought I was zoomed in, but oh wait, no. Alright, so I'm going to go to full screen. Boom. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's take this test. Fancy graphics. Fun tests. Well, alright, let's see how fun this is. What gender are you? 10 questions. You have about 10 seconds to answer each question. Okay, so again, we're doing one of these tests where they're asking us to answer questions, and we have 10 seconds to answer the questions. So let's go ahead and do it. Question 1. What subject do you prefer? Okay. Art, English, and math. Alright. Okay, let's see. Alright. So art, English, and math. So what subject do I prefer? I would say English. I like English because it's just more interesting. Art is fun too, but English has got more, words to it and that sort of thing. More concepts, more thought. Well, art can too. And math, well, of course, math is really handy. Now, I have heard that things like art and math are gendered. I have heard people try to gender it. That art is more feminine and math is more masculine. And English, actually I thought English was more feminine as well, considering in 1912 on ships like the Titanic, the libraries for were for the women. So, and the smoking room was for men. So, alright, so my answer is B, and so that's a big old goose egg for me. Alright, on we go. Question 2. Which movie genre do you like the best? A. Drama, fantasy, romance. B. Action, sci-fi, horror. Or C. Comedy, cartoon, and adventure. I'm going to say B. I like action. I like sci-fi. I'm actually not all that much about horror, but some horror can be fun. Once again, we can see that they're gendering, and what they're gendering is that drama, fantasy, and romance is feminine. Action, sci-fi, and horror, I guess, is neutral, which a few years ago it wouldn't be. That would be all boys. And comedy, cartoon, and adventure. You know what? I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to say that it's the comedy, cartoon, and adventure that's going to be the 0, and B is going to be the boy, and A is going to be the girl. Let's find out. I'm sorry, I forgot about the stupid countdown. It's not like you can't pause these dumb things. But that's alright. Okay. Fascinating. A is 0 points. B is 20 points. So I actually get 20 points for choosing sci-fi and horror. And C gets 10. Fascinating. Alright, we'll go on. Question 3. Did you like trucks or dolls? I liked both. Because, trucks are all about boys and dolls are all about girls. And, well, okay, let me stop that. Okay. Yes, trucks are more towards boys, and dolls are definitely more towards girls, because girls have an innate maternal instinct to take care of dolls. That's why dolls were invented. They're there to help the girl, you know, understand how to hold a baby or something like that. However, dolls like Barbie, no, those aren't for training a girl how to carry a baby or care for a baby. And trucks, girls can play with trucks just as much as boys. I do not think these gender rules apply anymore, and I think boys can play with Barbies. In fact, I did. But I didn't play with Barbies in the normal way. Yeah, I'd have Barbie home and doing chores and stuff, but then I'd have her get into the Barbie Corvette and drive off a cliff. In other words, send the Barbie Corvette off a staircase. Yeah, because that was fun. And do you know who else engaged in that? The lady friends that I had who also owned the Barbie Corvette and the Barbie. They would wreck the Barbie Corvette. They would put Barbie and Ken in the Corvette and then run it off a staircase. Those are girls, and those girls grew up to be women. They are not gay, and they're not into. They're pretty much quote unquote normal, although they like to do masculine things. I think they still play soccer to this day. And soccer is a man's sport, although in America that's not the case. All right, so let's see what we get. I chose C. All right, C is 10. Okay. All right, let's go on. Question 4. How do you act while playing games? A, having fun. It depends on the circumstances, I suppose. B, competitive. I focus on the game itself. C, collaborative. I focus on relationship building. For me, it's C. Although A is also a very important thing. If I'm not having fun, I'm not playing. B is one of the last things that I like. I don't like competitiveness. I played Monopoly in a manner where the game would last as long as possible. I did the same with Magic the Gathering, and definitely in Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of stuff. I played in a cooperative method. I wasn't, even if I was a thief, I still couldn't backstab my troops, you know. So for this one, I'm going to turn the music off, because maybe I won't have to pause it anymore. All right, so I'm going to play it. All right, and I would say C for me. Okay, so we have our silly countdown, which takes up more time than necessary, but that's all right. And C is 0. I got a goose egg. Doo, 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 doo. All right, next. How do you handle stress? A, better than others. B, just like everybody else. Stress can be paralyzing. B, was unaware that this was a gendered thing, but I guess it is. And B, I get 10 points. All right, next, 6. What's your tolerance for physical pain? A, high. I dislike it, but I can control it. B, average. I avoid it as much as I can. And C, low. I'm afraid of it. Okay. This is sort of a gendered thing, and once again, I think it's kind of bullshit. Women can suffer immense amounts of pain. It's called childbirth. It's also called periods. But what is your tolerance for physical pain? I actually have a high tolerance. I can get hurt, and I can continue going. This happens at my job all the time. I will scream and yell and maybe kick the airplane, but I will continue working unless I am bleeding. If I am bleeding, I will spray alcohol onto that cut or onto that slice and then I'll just get some duct tape and a piece of toilet paper and wrap it around. Unless they have bandages. Sometimes we don't, so that's what I end up doing. And alcohol on an open wound hurts like hell. Okay. B, average, I avoid it as much as I can. Who in their right mind doesn't avoid unnecessary pain? Unless, of course, you're a masochist. I think that's what it is. Yeah, unless you're a masochist, and that's a different story entirely. I, for one, love to be bitten by my girlfriend. She also enjoys being bitten by me. That is a pleasurable pain, and no need to avoid that. So when they're talking about physical pain, I think they mean like in the workplace or just in everyday life and not necessarily with your partner. Alright, so I'm going to get that going again. Alright, so I said A, so I got 20 points. I must be really masculine. Okay, do you think before you act? I guess so. B, always. I am carefully cautious. C, under certain circumstances, I can't control myself. I'm going with C. I can be impulsive. Impulsivity at times has gotten me out of some serious issues. But, of course, impulsivity can also get you into bad situations. Always, do you think before you act? Always, I'm carefully cautious. That one applies to me as well. And I'd say B and C apply to me equally. But I'm going to go more with C. In serious circumstances, though, I am horribly cautious. I am slowly cautious. Sometimes I can be like a battleship turning. I mean, I'm slow at action. So, yeah, trying to figure out how that's gendered. Alright, so next, alright, so I said C, and C is 20. 8. Do you ask people to repeat what they say? So I guess being deaf or being hard of hearing is gendered. Do you ask people to repeat what they say? A, hardly ever when there's too much noise. Hardly ever when there's too much noise. That just sounds dumb. B, often. Sometimes I still don't get it. C, it happens from time to time. I'm going with C. My hearing has been badly affected by being around aircraft, and I often have to ask people to repeat what they say, especially when I'm in a room full of people talking or around machinery making sounds. It's just how my hearing is. I was unaware that the ability to hear was a gendered thing. Not sure what they're getting at there, but okay. Alright, 4, 3, 2, 1, boop. Alright, C is 10 points. Next. Question 9. Do you like taking risks? I think this is more of a age-based thing, an experience-based thing, because when I was younger, yeah, I didn't mind. I took risks. I did risky things. There were many instances I did stuff that really could have ended with me getting really hurt when I look back at it. But at the time, I was having a ball. Nowadays, would I do those things? Nope. Not too long ago, or no, about a year, no, actually about 5 years ago, I tried to ride my bike again after many years of not riding it. And the front tire blew out, and I crashed. And then I realized, what in the fuck am I doing? I could have gotten myself so badly injured riding this bike, and I would have had no insurance, I would have had no coverage, or anything like that. So once again, I think that's something that comes with age. So, alright, do you like taking risks? Yes, the bigger the risk, the better the reward. B, if it's worth taking, I'm a calculated risk taker. No, I believe in security and guarantees. I am B. Definitely B. And B is 10 points. And now, the last one, number 10. Do you have a feminine or a masculine mentality? what the heck kind of question is this? The test is to see what gender you are. So why in this test are you asking the question, are you masculine or feminine? The answer to that question is, I don't know. That's why I'd be taking the frickin' test. Sorry, counting down. And C is 10 points. Okay, so now we get to the results. Alright, so pausing. I'm going to go ahead and add all this stuff together. 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 20 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 gives me a whopping 110. Oh, look at that. I don't have a female brain. But let's see what they say about the female brain anyways. Female brain. Women handle stress better. The female brain is geared slightly more towards language. Females hear better than males. When playing games, girls focus on relationship building. Women's brains favor more emotional activity. Okay. A lot of this is pure bullshit. Now, do you know why women probably hear better than males? Because males are oftentimes exposed to loud environments that destroy the hearing. A lot of jobs that men do are surrounded by loud noises. Even men working in the stock market are still surrounded by loud noises. Women, their jobs a lot of the time are not involving loud noises. The female brain is geared slightly more towards language. Okay. Yes. Especially like the aforementioned 1912 on boats, on ships. They had reading rooms and they had smoking rooms. The smoking rooms were for men and the reading rooms were for women. So, yeah, women were more encouraged to read, whereas men were more encouraged to engage in physical activities. This is not inherently gendered thing. This is not inherently a masculine or feminine thing. This is a socially induced thing. And it's dying out, thank the maker. Now men and women can be just as into language and be more into reading than in the past. Women handle stress better. Okay. That is kind of a strange statement considering how women are kept out of high-stress jobs or told you don't want to be in these jobs, they're too high stress. Okay? Women were kind of pushed away from being in the stock market because it was too high a stress. Most of the stockbrokers out there, to my knowledge, are male. So that's a little off. When playing games, girls focus on relationship building. This I could partially see. I could understand how that can be. Women's brains favor more emotional activity. I'd like to know what they mean by that a little better. Alright, next. So, yeah. So that was, that definition is a little problematic. Definitely based, the whole, well, I'll get into that. Okay. 110. Male brain. Men have weaker impulse control. The male brain is geared slightly more towards math. Men are more likely to take risks than women when playing games. Boys focus on the game itself. Males have a higher threshold for pain. That last one is just too much. Women have far more pain in their lives just being women than guys. Now, women do, on the most part, feign being hurt and crying and all that sort of stuff, because I think it's because when they are being raised, when they hurt themselves, they're coddled and they're loved and they're shown love. Whereas a boy hurts themselves, they're told to man up and toughen up and all this sort of shit. Men are more likely to take risks than women. I don't know about that. Because women seem to get together with guys who are high risk. I'm talking about, you know, getting together romantically. When playing games, boys focus on the game itself. No, my understanding is when playing games, boys tend to want to dominate and quote unquote eviscerate their opponent. It's about winning. Focusing on the game would be focusing on the rules and all that sort of stuff, and I would think that'd be a more neutral thing, but I could be wrong. Alright, the male brain is geared slightly more. Okay, read that. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so I have a male brain, according to this. Not surprised, since I am male. But I'm right at the cusp between male and women. Now this one is also odd, because a lot of the time the middle range is the middle point. It's usually female brain, neutral, male brain. Or in the case of that one test, it was female brain, alien, and male brain. Alright, so let's see what they give for the person that fits right in the middle. Oh, sorry, I paused it, but that's alright. Alright, come on, there we go. Oh, I see. They didn't even include androgyny. They didn't even include the middle ground. Wow. Okay, so that test is a bunk, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to turn this towards me. Alright, so that was the test, and as you see, I got 110, but it's right at the cusp between male and female. But the thing is, I'll bet you a lot of people are right on that cusp, because most of those things, there was no reason for them to be gendered. There was no reason. I mean, some of those things, they don't have a gender, but they are gendered by society. And that's the key right there, is how society divides these things and what criteria they use to divide these things. So, that was it funtest or something like that? I forget who made the test. But leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about that particular test. And that's it for today. Alright, bye-bye.